This is the University of National Champions, Part 10. We're going to talk about it, though, on 94 feet of UNC.
Gordy to Black. The time, 18. Shot, Jordan! Michael Jordan!
Swicker with the defense and the rebound. That's a good effort by Swicker.
Stackout, streaking it on Parks. Rebound dunk is good, and he gets fouled by Parks. Oh, my goodness, what a dunk by Stackout.
Interesting that he brought him back so quickly, but you know what? They're down east. You can't teach that. You can't teach that high-rising ability. 3. And Green rips down the rebound in traffic. 4-on-1. Great job. What a terrific job in transition. I mean, you could.
The glass, no good. Rebound, followed by hand throw, good! Carolina.
Inside 30 overall. Love, top of the key.
Alice, the belt is over. Carolina. The Tar Heels have won the national championship.
And that is it. There is a new team in college basketball. North Carolina takes the title. Captain any final. North Carolina is the 2009 national champion. And this year, the confetti is going to fall to North Carolina. They're not going to be denied this time.
What's up, everybody? You are tuned in to the 94 feet of UNC podcast. I am your host, of course, Mr. Linzel Graham, the infamous Mr. Linzel Graham. Everybody, all my fans, y'all all out there know me for sure. We locked in today. I got me a big special guest, of course, in the building with me today. But before we get into him, you know, and talking to him and chopping some things up or whatever, listen, I appreciate all the love and support from everybody. Just reached over 1,000 followers on Instagram. I appreciate the love and support. Just hit a little over 200 subscribers or whatever on YouTube. It's not a lot of numbers or big numbers for a lot of people out there. I know they may look at it and be like, that's okay, but it's a lot to me. And I appreciate all the love and support from everybody. Let's keep rocking. We're going to get this thing up. We're going to get these numbers up for sure. And I just appreciate it. So make sure that you follow me on my socials, on Twitter, on Instagram, at 94 feet of UNC. Also, I got a Discord that I just started up not too long ago. Come on in if you want portal information, UNC recruitment. We talk all things UNC with all sports and so many other different things or whatever. I'm going to put that link in the description for everybody. So make sure you click on the link and join that for sure. It's free to join. So make sure you come on in for sure. And subscribe to the channel, the YouTube channel at 94 feet of UNC. Let's get the numbers up, everybody, for sure. But yes, I appreciate everybody. My special guest in the building with me today is the man himself. I've been waiting on this interview, everybody. I've been waiting on this interview right here. I've been trying to get in touch with him, and it just so happened like things just aligned and they put themselves in place for this to actually happen. And look, we are here. So my guy, Jackie Manuel, is in the building, ladies and gentlemen, 2005 national champion. Absolutely. Like, Jackie, what's going on, my bro?
It's good, man. I appreciate you having me, man. Thanks for having me on and everything. This is dope. Hey, I got chills from the video footage that you showed. Oh my gosh, man.
Yo, listen, so many people tell me that when they come on, like, bro, I like when I sit back and I just watch that, like I could watch it all day. Like I've heard so much from that. Like when I had Danny on a while ago, like I told him, he was like, yo, man, did you just put that picture up right there behind you? Yeah. And I was like, just for me, I was like, yeah, Danny, I guess you can say that, I guess. but no, man, like, yeah, man, like, you know, just I'm just grateful, man, like and humble and appreciative because I mean, like 7 months going on 8 months strong, bro. And you know, just to be in this space to be able to do this, never thought and imagined that I'd be sitting up here talking to legends such as yourself and Dino and Danny and some of the other guys, Newbie and a lot of the other guys, man. So I'm so happy to be here, man. And you know, we got to, I'm gonna keep this thing going, man. Like this ain't for me. This is for y'all, because you know, when I started it, it was like, how I'm gonna do this? Am I gonna do this an everyday show? Is it gonna be, you know, every other day? Like how I'm gonna actually go about doing things? And one thing just led to another, opening up the doors, as they say. You miss every shot that you don't take. So it was like, you know, I just reached out to some people. They came on the show. Next thing you know, they started hitting up some people. We all started connecting, and it was just a domino effect of so many special guests that has just been here. Like, you know, so, and I appreciate every single one of them that has been a part of this, as far as on and been rocking with me on this journey. And we not stopping, bro. We not stopping.
No reason to.
Yeah, 94 feet of UNC is here, and I'm not going nowhere, man. It's a one-man show, but hey, it's hard work, but I'm used to it, and I'm passionate about this. So I love this, man. Just being a Tar Heel fan as well. So, but you know, a lot of people want to know what you guys be doing after UNC. So, you know, that's the reason why I get a lot of the guests on, like, because people want to hear from you guys, and, you know, and it's just a beautiful thing. So I just try to reach out to whoever and everybody, as far as alumni, players and things like that, just to see if they want to come on the show and tell their stories about UNC and, you know, things like that or whatever. So, hey, we here.
Yeah, man. And I think it's dope, man. I think it's dope. You know, we kind of go off and everybody start doing their own thing, and, you know, kind of lose touch of the fan base, you know, unless we come back to a game where people see us, but they still don't know what's going on in our lives. So this is awesome that you're doing this.
I appreciate it, man. So real quick, like I tell everybody, like, you know, just kind of picture it in your mind, but I call this the Zell Dome, like the Ding Dome, but this is the Zell Dome. Everybody come in, kick your shoes off, get comfortable. You know, we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. So, you know, I just let everybody know, like, mi casa, su casa. Like,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So absolutely. So, you know, when we talked earlier today, I told you, I was like, listen, I want to try something new. I want it to be authentic. And, you know, because some people, they reach out to be like, what's the topics, things like that. So, you know, of course, we have no topics. We doing this from off the dome, basically, or whatever. So, you know, let's just jump right into things or whatever. So, I mean, tell everybody, for those that don't know you, of course, everybody knows you, though. Like, come on now. Everybody knows Jackie Manuel. Like, let's just be clear. But for the fans and for those that don't know, please introduce yourself.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Jackie Manuel, graduate 2005, part of the national championship team. Amazing team. Excuse me, amazing group of guys. Man, it's just been coaching for 14 seasons now. I'm finishing up. Yeah, and just love every bit of it, man. Just serving these young guys, you know, get to watch guys come in and they leave and they mature, and see another group coming in. So it's been fun, man. It's been fun coaching. It's been fun watching my young guys at Carolina, you know, develop and grow and become men, and you know, move on into the next phase of their life. So it's pretty dope, man.
Yeah. So, Jackie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a quick story, right? So, and I meant to tell you this earlier, actually, but so I was at the game with American and UNC. And it was my first time, like, being able to, I think they call it Peoples now, or Peebles or something like that, where you kind of go in through the side door, get the free beer, get the food, and then you kind of walk through the little tunnel, walk out on the floor, go up to the seat and everything, right? And I got a video, actually, and I'm gonna send it to you, but I'm in the hallway, and I'm just in awe because that's my first time there. I'm seeing the 2005 mural and '09 mural and all of this stuff and everything. So I'm up here with my phone recording it and things like that or whatever. And next thing I know, a tall American player walks right in front of it, right in front of the camera. I wasn't gonna say nothing to him. I mean, he was a giant. I'm cool on that, right? But on the other side of him, I said, "That's Jackie Manuel." Both of y'all walk right by, and I'm like, "That is Jackie." Yeah, like he is on the staff and things like that. Like, I just thought that it was cool because I mean, come on, man. Like somebody like me being a fan for as long as I've been a fan, and now just being able to get the experience to do so many different things. Like, I still get starstruck. Like, you a legend to me, bro. Like,
I appreciate
all
it,
UNC players are legends to me. Like, I've always wanted to wear that jersey, always, and play on that court. Like, since I was a kid. And of course, that never happened. But being a fan and, following in my father's footsteps, with him being a fan, I said, yeah, this is it. This is the place. Like, ain't nothing like that Argyle. Nothing like that Argyle or whatever. So I got to make sure I send that video to you because you could be like,
please do. Please do.
That's me. And I don't know. I forgot the player's name, but
I want to see what player it is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought about that.
Our guys, when they walked up in that building and they felt that, they had the same emotions. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because whether people like us or not, everybody has some sort of feeling, towards that building and want to walk in. And so when they did that, man, they probably talked about that for the next month or two. Just walking in there, and some of the guys on the staff was like, man, I looked up, in the rafters and realized how big this building was. And I was like, yeah, man, it's a special place. It really is.
For sure. Sure. Like it's I don't the Dean Dome should be like one of the wonders of the world.
For sure. Absolutely, man.
I mean, let's just put it out there. Yeah, it should be. It should be because it, like you said, any and everybody that comes in there, they're in awe. Period. So I mean, which I tell you what, since we have no topic, we can segue right into the first one, which is right on topic. It's right on cue. What are your thoughts on this renovation or rebuilding the Smith Center?
I truly get both sides. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get the side as a former player in the tradition, and the just amazing players that have come through that building, and just the that building, and kind of the segue from Carmichael to that building, and I totally understand that, and I understand what that means when you have people walk in that building when you're playing or you're coaching. That's an advantage.
Yeah,
because our players walked in that building and they already had in their head who played in there, who they remember playing in that building. Oh my gosh, I'm on the same floor as this person that used to be in there. So now they're already distracted. You're already up by 10 or 15 before the game even started.
Yep.
And then just, Coach Smith, and Coach Williams and Coach Davis and all the people that's been there, Coach Doherty, Coach Gutt, the people that's coached in that building, and the love that they have for that building, for our program. And so it's kind of taking that away, You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
hard. You know what I mean? That's hard for somebody to like change. Like we're talking about change as we started this. It's hard for people to envision what that means and what that looks like. But there's a other part of it too, where there's a new space, right?
Right.
And this has always been about business,
Right.
right? But now it's even more. It's always been about business, right? But we still have the sprinkle of the academic portion of it, and we still have the academics, but it's very clear that this is business,
Right.
and so to move into a new space with this new wave of NIL and all this and this business model, you're looking at, okay, how can we rebrand in a sense, you know what I mean, and building a new arena where you can add whatever you want to add and to get people so excited and wanting to come in that building to see the new gadgets and everything that they have to offer in that new building.
Right.
Like that's going to bring in a financial piece that, the business is looking for.
Right.
Right. So I get that. It would be great if you can merge the two, and keep the ding dong and kind of upgrade that. But, the business side is how can we make this fancy and nice and there's other layers, right? Concerts and all that, you got tied to it. And how can we get all that flowing where the money's flowing and we then putting that money towards whatever we want to do. So it's a tough thing, right? To try to process
Right.
that part of it. But I totally understand the business when you are the person making the business decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're thinking income.
Right. Dollars.
Dollars. You're thinking dollars, you're thinking income. So for me, as a former player, do I want to see that building not there or us not playing in that building? No, not necessarily. But I didn't want to see the transfer portal like it is and the NIL in a better space than what it is. And you know what? We have no control over that. So
yeah, but now we don't have no control over the transfer portal, but we do have some control over the Smith Center. Like if Dean Smith was here, what do you think Dean Smith would
that
say?
wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen at all. It wouldn't, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't happen. Honestly.
Right.
It shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? That's a special place. That's a special place to a lot of people. And I'm not just talking about players either.
Right.
There's people that have grew up in that building.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so that building means a lot to a lot of people. That those memories, some people are no longer here. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have those memories and you can't get those back. You know what I mean? So to take that away, that has an impact on a lot of people's lives. And sometimes you gotta look at the big picture too. You know what I mean? Like people have come to Carolina based off being in that building and seeing their favorite Carolina player play. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? And it's changed their whole perspective of, how they wanted their future to be and where they wanted to go to school. Like so many just small memories that are special to a lot of people.
Yeah. And to my knowledge, it's like from what I've heard, that they want to add like restaurants and and things like that. But you have space outside to where you can clear some land right there, not too far from the Smith Center, because I think that was one of the biggest issues, because it's in kind of like in the middle of nowhere, but you have space and land right there to where it's like, okay, if you need to move a parking lot or two, then move the parking lots and add some eating restaurants and some entertainment stuff or whatever. Just expand the complex instead of just rebuilding a brand new one. Like, to me, I just don't see and think that you shouldn't touch the Smith Center. The problem is you can't really renovate it because it's like 80% concrete.
Yeah. Right.
Like, I mean,
right.
like, you can't just knock down concrete and think that the structure is going to stay where it is. No, you knock down one piece of concrete, it's a domino effect. A lot of it is coming down. So how are you going to go about renovating it? Now, can you redo, the concrete spray? I don't know. I'm not in construction or anything like that, but you got to figure something out.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's a tough decision. It's a tough decision. I would say probably the unfortunate part about it is the people or the person that's making that decision, how attached are they to that building? Right.
You want me to tell you a secret?
I mean,
you might already know this.
What's that?
Chancellor Lee Roberts graduated from Duke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how did you even get the job, dog? Like, and I love you, Lee Roberts. I do. But how did you get the job coming from 8 miles up the road? Like,
yeah, so and I don't know if this changed anything, but like, how can we show the chancellor how much this building means to us? And then when I say we, I don't mean just players, right? Because that's like, of course it means everything to y'all, you know what I mean? But when I say we, I mean our fans, our players, the people that work there, like the kids, like we as a whole, how much that building means. Because when you give people that type of perspective, maybe they continue with their decision, or maybe the decision changes a little bit. Like, maybe it's not as easy, or maybe I don't have the same approach. Like you're saying, maybe I don't have the same approach of building a new building. Maybe my approach changes and say, okay, how can we keep this and build around it to make it even better?
Right.
But you got to have some, you got to have some perspective and kind of be inside of that to see the emotions and the feelings that people have.
Yeah. So I'm with you. I'm like you. I understand both sides, the perspective on both sides or whatever, as far as like, you want to do it this way because it's a money thing. But at the same time, I mean, that building, that's like again, it's like one of the wonders of the world. Like,
bro, I grew up in that building.
Exactly.
Like, I grew up in that building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I became a man in that building. You know what I mean? I learned a lot by being in that building. That if you think about it like this, everything that I'm teaching to these young men, I learned from in that building.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. So every kid, 14 years, every kid that I coach has a piece of North Carolina with them.
Yeah.
That came from that building and the things that we learned from within that building. Yeah. So like, it means a lot of people may not know that because they don't, I'm not saying, hey, I learned this in the Dean Dome and I'm gonna give it to you, but it means something special to a lot of people. Don't even know that they have that piece of them from that building.
Yeah.
So it's deeper. You know what I mean? It's deeper than that. And every single one of us have taken something from there and giving it to somebody else that we've come across.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. I mean, you said it, like whether it's from a personal from a personal aspect or even from a sports side of things.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, one thing about Coach Williams, Coach Smith, Coach Guthridge, all of them, they taught, not only did they teach the players how to be players, but they also taught them how to be men.
Absolutely.
And you just, like you said, you grew up in that building. So it's like, now you want to take a piece of a lot of people's childhood.
Yeah.
And you know what? Because why? You want to build something like a Allen Fieldhouse, Allen Fieldhouse, like Kansas Gym, and make it a little smaller to where instead of 22,000 people, now you're right at about 15, 16.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. And then if you do that, it's going to raise the prices on tickets. Like, of course, like it's a money thing. It's a money thing. Yeah. So I don't know, man. But you can't tear it down. You cannot move from the Smith Center. I'm sorry. Like, it's just too much. I grew up in that building and I ain't even played.
Right. I mean,
I feel like I got a piece of history with that building, as like we all do.
Yeah.
And just to change things, I don't. That's the only part that I don't like. Like, it's like, oh, they like, you just willfully just came out with that out of nowhere. Like, yeah, let's get a new arena. Like, what?
Yeah. I hope not, man. I know, but you know, you got to be ready for.
Yeah.
So you got to be ready for what's next.
So tell because I wasn't able to keep up with it as much, but how did the season go with American? Wait, you all are what? The Bull? It's not Bulldogs, is it?
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
Yeah. The Eagles.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do remember that now. Like, you know, listen, I'm not a fan of American, but I'm a fan of Jackie Manuel.
I appreciate it.
All that I can tell you about American. That's all that I know or whatever. But listen, Jackie Manuel is on the squad. He's on the staff. That I do know him, but that's about as far as it goes. But recap your season as far as like how things went, I guess you can say, or whatever, or whatever.
The season was actually a huge success.
Okay.
We finished tied for first place in the regular season with Bucknell, and then we won our conference tournament and played in the NCAA tournament, the playing game. So when we hadn't done that since 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been a while. But what really made the season a success is pouring into these guys, man, and getting them to believe in that vision that we were preaching to them for ever since last year, right? So can you imagine coming in, new coaches, and you know, you get a couple months in and your coach is telling you that you can win this league,
right?
You know, and playing the NCAA tournament, and you're like, what? You know, when, where, what, you know, and so we created that vision for them for the last 2 years, and so to see it come, you know what I mean, to fruition, and see guys do things that they didn't believe that they could do or they would do, but dreamed about doing since they were little kids. That's what made the season successful. You know what I mean? And, you know, that will be with them for the rest of their life. And that's so priceless, you know? So it was awesome to see. And we're losing about 5 or 6 guys that are graduating, but the foundation's been set that we can really build something special going forward and continue what we did this year.
Now you all aren't in this. I don't think you're not in the same conference with Monmouth, are you?
No, there are moments in the CAA.
Okay.
We're in the Patriot League. We're in there with Army and Navy and those programs. So
Well, look at that. How ironic, because I just asked you about a player in the
yeah.
Patriot League, and I didn't know anything, but somebody had texted me and told me like, "Yo, ask them about this person and stuff
Yeah.
because they are in the portal and things like that or whatever." So that's the irony. That's crazy. That's
Yeah, kid
crazy
is
right
talented. Yeah, so that's why you see I jumped to that. I'm like, that kid's talented. He's he's
there.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. From what I hear, be a good backup piece.
he's good,
Definitely,
man. It's
really,
in the
really
size
good
too,
backup piece.
in the size and
Yes.
ability.
What is he? 6'11"?
6'11", 7 feet. He's somewhere tall enough where you like, all right, bro, you one of them.
Yeah.
We'll figure it
Yeah.
out. But skill
Yeah.
though. I mean, inside out crossovers, working from the post, facing up, putting it on the ground, all that. Finish with both
Wow.
hands. Yeah.
That's Woo. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I do have to ask you, how did that happen with American coming to the Smith Center? Like, I know you had some doing in that. I'm sure.
Man, we were trying to get, I think we had like a couple more games that we had to get. And I reached out to the coaching staff, and I asked them about it, and I think they had some things already lined up. So I was like, all right, cool. That was probably like summertime or something like that, or
Right.
early fall. I was like, all right, cool. And then they circled back, and they're like, hey, y'all still looking for a game? I was like, yeah, we are. I was like, what you got? And so they like, yeah, we got this date available. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me check with my coach and I'll let you know. I think I called back probably about 5 minutes later. I'm like, yeah, that date worked. Yep, we got it. We good. And it was cool because it was actually my wife's birthday. So, and I was like, okay, great. We get to go back to Chapel Hill and play this amazing game, give this guys an amazing opportunity, and my wife gets to celebrate her birthday in the Smith Center, and she went to school there too. So I was like, I mean, this is perfect. So I said, let's get that marked in right now. Send that contract over. Send that contract over.
Right. So because I'm curious to know, like, what happens if somebody already has that date open, or scheduled, like, but they might have a different date for it. Like, do y'all move things around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can you try to create some flexibility within that process.
Right.
And you're talking to different coaches or different staffs, and so there's certain games that you're trying to get done before everybody else. And so you leave the dates open, like a lot of space open, so you can be flexible with that. And then you trying to kind of fill in everything else after that. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you trying to build a puzzle, okay, what games are going to be harder to get? Which ones are going to be a lot easier? Which ones do we have already returning that those dates are already set? How, can we move those? How flexible are those? So once you start putting that puzzle together, it becomes a little easier process, but you try to get North Carolina in, penciled in as quick as possible.
Listen, I tilt my hats off. I tilt my hat off to all you guys that are in the coaching field, with yourself, King Rice, and Brian Reeds up at Monmouth. D Phelps is at LIU with Rod Strickland running the team up there. Like, I'm sure. Oh, Wes Miller.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm forgetting some other guys. I know Wad is working with the Kings, and I know Stack is with the Warriors, and and things like that. And I'm like I said, I'm sure I'm forgetting some other guys, but I tilt my hat off to you guys because. But I would assume it's an amazing transition because it's like I get to actually teach what I was taught.
Yeah.
And I mean, just think about it, being taught by the greats, whether it's Dean Smith or Roy Williams, like two coaches that I have on my Mount Rushmore. Like and that's not even just by being biased as a Carolina fan. That's just when I look at a lot of different things, you have to put those two on there. Because I didn't grow up with the Woodens and the Rupps, and I didn't grow up in those eras, so I can't really. I tell people all the time, I can't count those because I didn't grow up watching that or in that era. So I only base it off of my era when I was watching basketball. And to me, you got to put both of them up on that list, on the Rushmore, for sure.
For sure. But I look at it, man. I started doing that this year. I was having a conversation, and I was like, man, like I've learned the game. Mm-hmm. If you think about Coach Smith and where he gained his knowledge of the game from,
right?
Being at Kansas and how, where the game started, who coached him, and then how he passed that along. I was like, man, I've learned the game almost to the beginnings of his foundation, right?
Right.
And I'll say I've learned the game to the point where it's had its trial and errors, and the introduction of the 3-point line and all that. So I'm like, even though I never was back in that era, I learned so much from just Coach Smith through Coach Williams. And I'm like, yo, I have an education in this game that most people don't have. And I'm like, that's a blessing for real. You know what I mean? Like, not a lot of people can say that, outside of, the Carolina family, say how they learn the game through somebody who experienced it at a different form in the games being played.
That's listen, when you just taking in all of that, bro, like it's one of those things, like it's a joy instead of like, because some people may say like, man, this is too much, but with that knowledge and that expertise, just learning from the both of them, or
absolutely.
It becomes it's a joyful thing, because it's like, I might not have played for this coach, but I'm still taking in everything that he's taught, because that's where this coach got his from.
Exactly.
So like,
and I was fortunate. I was fortunate because a lot of people probably don't need to know this or remember this. When I was there in school, Coach Smith was downstairs, so his office was near our where we went and got our lockers, got our gear. So we would see him either in the hallways, him and Coach Cut, or we would see them on the court when they came to practice. So I was gaining knowledge from them. You know what I mean? They would share certain things with us that we were learning. So we were still getting, even though I never played for the two, we were still gaining that knowledge from them. Yeah.
That's good, man. I would have loved to. I tell everybody, because as Matt, this kind of transitions right into my next segue, but from everybody that has been up here, and been on the podcast, everybody has a different UNC story, and they're immaculate stories. Like it is stories like, as a fan, I never knew. of course, because, fans don't know about a whole lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes and things like that. They only see what's on the surface, on the top surface.
Yeah.
And just to hear so many different stories from B. Reeves to and Pete Chilcutt and Kevin Salvadori, all the way up to the David Noels and Rayshon Terrys and newbies. And even not even just alumni players, but, some other podcasters or, Adam Lucas, or, I mean, the stories are just remarkable and incredible. And I always tell people, listen, you ain't got to be a UNC fan, but two things. Number one, you got to respect it. And number two, do some history. Just do the history, and you might have a different perspective on Carolina. You still might not like us, but you're going to sit back and say, you know what? I respect the program. I do respect it. I don't like them, but I do respect the program, so, which I do, because I got to ask you, because I want to back it up a little bit. And I want to ask you, because I always ask everybody what their recruitment process was like. So, I mean, kind of walk us through that a little bit.
I had the easiest recruiting process ever. I mean, when I say the easiest, I mean, if I was recruiting me, I would, great. This is easy. I literally, the recruiting process was already done for me because of Vince Carter.
Ooh,
so think about that. Because of Vince Carter, the recruiting process is already done for me. So when Coach Doherty got the job at North Carolina and he was recruiting me at Notre Dame, and they offered me a scholarship to come to North Carolina, I said yes right there. He was going through his spiel. I think it was Julius Hodge and James White. And he was going through his spiel. He offered in, and he's like, hey, we offer these guys too. And the first one to take it, that's who. I said, hey, man, I'm coming. I don't know what. You ain't even got to keep going with that. I said, hey, bro, I'm coming. It was already done. You had Michael Jordan. It was already done. A huge Michael Jordan fan, right? I'm like, you have Vince Carter, the only person at that time to play at the University of North Carolina from Florida, right? It was VC. And I'm like, okay, I can go to the University of Florida. And I was pretty close to going there. It's like I can go to Miami, and I was close to going there in other schools in Florida. But I was like, but going to North Carolina, that's different. It's a bunch of dudes in the States going there, going to these places, but ain't a bunch of dudes in the state going to North Carolina. That's different. So he was still trying to sell, and I'm like, bro, so you good. When you offered, you ain't got to say nobody name. It was done. You know what I mean? So I didn't even, it's crazy. I didn't even visit. I committed before I visited. I committed before I visited. So when I came on my visit, I was like, yo, I'm here. You ain't got to sell me. We got to get Jawad. I'm good.
Sound like a Linzel move, because I probably would have did the same thing. Listen, I'll come visit later, but I'm on board, Coach.
Visit. I don't need no visit. I already know what it is. So it was the easiest sales pitch they made, the easy commitment, I'm sure that they got.
Well, I mean, easy.
Listen,
but guess what? Goes back to my point of what I just said. Amazing story, and it's different.
Yeah,
that's the first story that I've heard that it was like, that was an easy pick. That was an easy choice.
It was easy.
Yeah.
And even when things were in limbo, and there was a thought of transferring, when the conversation was actually had, guess what? I was like, I ain't going nowhere. I talked to my dad. I'm talking to him on the phone. I'm like, I just had this conversation. He's like, what you want? What you want to do? I'm like, I'm staying. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's where I want to be.
Yeah.
So I'll figure out the rest of it. But why would I leave a place that I decided I wanted to go somewhere that I don't even know if I want to be there. Right? Transfer somewhere I don't know if I even want to be, and then I got to learn everything. I was like, no, we'll figure it out here. But this is where I'm going to be. And so it made my process when Coach Williams coming in, it made my process easy because he's like, I made the decision to be there. So when Coach is like, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what you're going to be doing now, I was like, cool.
Yeah.
You know, like, cool. And that's always been me. Like, we don't have to do a whole lot of talking. All right, I've made a decision. All right, cool.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? I bet. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You made the job easy.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. You just made Coach's job easy. That's all that was. Like, I get it. Like, hey, Coach, what you need? Like,
what you need?
I got you. Like, no problem. Yeah. I would have probably done the same thing. I like no lie. I would have done the same thing. Like, Coach, whatever you need. You want me to give everybody water? I got you. Like, just for me to even be able to have the opportunity to put on the uniform and run out of that tunnel and step on that court. Coach, whatever you need. What you want me to do? You want me to I'll pick up the basketball goal and move it to the other end, and we'll have two goals on one side if you want me to. Like, what do you want me to do, Coach? Like,
hey, at the end of the day, man, I just wanted to win. Right. And I had that experience. I had the winning experience in high school. And I just wanted to win. And everything going forward with me was I just want to win because I know everything take care of itself when you do that. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I came in as a top recruit, all that stuff. And I wanted to score. Who does not? Right. But when you give me the ultimatum of have that or winning, like, I want to win. Like, I want to.
Simple.
It's very simple. I don't look at myself as nothing else but a winner. So I want to win. Like,
I know that's right. And you made the right decision, Jackie. You made the right decision, no doubt about that. Like, again, a legend at UNC. Like, that's just listen. I've been in a lot of discords, and your name comes up a lot as far as like we talked about that earlier. We'll go all day about that topic, which we're gonna discuss just briefly or whatever, close to the end. But I got a 3-part question for you. All right. Number 1, what did it feel like when you won the national championship? Number 2, what was it like playing under Coach Williams? And number 3, give me one of your, I don't want to use the word wildest, or craziest, but give me one of your most memorable moments where at the university or when Coach had to get on you about something.
Okay. So first one, what was it like? The national championship game was surreal. It was surreal. Things were happening and moving so fast. And before you know it, it's like, oh, okay, it's game time. Oh, dang, okay, it's first half we up. All of a sudden, second half they made a run, and when that game was over, it was like, dang, we did it. Like, we spoke that into existence. Like we manifested that. Real, like I don't know of Ray Terry or Dave or
I've heard the stories. Like they said the same exact words.
We manifested that. You know what I mean? From the time Coach had a conversation with us going into my senior year, and he's like, "Hey, I can't tell you everybody's going to play in the NBA, but I'll tell you one thing: if you win a national championship, everybody will benefit from it, right? From the time that we lost to Texas my junior year, like we manifested us doing that, and everything was like just based around that. Like that was driving everything, how we worked, how we came together, all that. So that was so surreal to actually say that and then accomplish that. When we know it Villanova, the little Villanova deal goes, my man hit the shot, they don't call it travel, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? Like Michigan State, we get down and something happens and it's over.
Yeah.
And so to be able to do that was awesome. Coach Williams made me better. Like he made me a better person and player. And here's what people, this will be good.
Okay.
He didn't make me a better player because he said you can have whatever you want.
Right.
He made me a better player in person because he said this is what you're not going to be doing. So that box actually made me focus in on my strengths instead of trying to do the things that I wasn't as good at. And it made me a better player. So the same person that couldn't shoot, that was turnover prone, was all these things my freshman and sophomore year, was the same person that became a good basketball player.
Right.
Well, I still have those weaknesses. I still have those things, but he made me hone in on playing within myself. Right. And then I took that with me and say, okay, everybody has different talents, but recognize what you're good at and what you've been blessed with and the gift of having, and then hone in on that.
Yeah.
Without him doing that, I don't know if I would have, been able to be the player that I reach the potential that I reach as far as being a player. That you want to know something interesting. That in my playing career was the only time, right? Playing in that box was the only time that I had a legitimate shot of making it to the NBA. In my career because one, we won. One, it made my good attributes stand out and play within myself. And now it wasn't for every team, but the teams that was looking for that stood out to them, that jumped off the page for them. And I didn't recognize and I didn't understand that as a player. So that's like the nugget that I try to give the players. Like you can't be everybody, bro. You don't have that talent, but be you. Right. And somebody's gonna love you and you're gonna get a chance. So I appreciate Coach Williams for that. And then the last thing, I don't know if they ever told you this story, how Mike blew up our practice. MJ, did Dave and Ray Terry tell you that story?
I've heard some stories, so I don't know if it's the same one, but I mean,
it was like I'll probably outside of winning, I'll say the national championship, beating Duke. This is probably the third best moment. Okay. For me, playing at Carolina. So this is my senior year, and there's talks of Marvin being the number 1, number 2 pick. It's kind of probably like February, somewhere January, February. And so, coach is meticulous about his practice. Like everything's scheduled to the T. If we go over, he's going to cut some things, but we're going to be on time, right? So we're starting our practice with our warm-up, form shooting. And all of a sudden, we look through the tunnel. And myself and Marvin always were on the basket closest to the tunnel where our locker room is. Okay. Right. So we can see, everybody coming, through the tunnel. Yeah. All of a sudden, before everybody else, all of a sudden, MJ walks through the joint. And so, it's like, what? what? Yo. So he walks in, he says, what's up? No, we always huddle up after form shooting, we huddle up. So we huddle up and we're like, okay, this is cool. Like we got MJ in here, he talking to us all that. All of a sudden, we break out into a full half court shooting competition. So now everybody, bro, mind you, we supposed to be moving to the next thing in practice. Yo, right. We in there about 20 minutes just throwing up half court shots, seeing who can make it. So then MJ, somebody makes it or whatever. We play again. So you know him, competitor. He's like, all right, cool, we're gonna play again. So we do it again. All of a sudden, somebody else make it. So then Mike takes Marvin, and they start walking around the Smith Center, and they're having this conversation about, you know, what Marvin should do. Should he go? Should he stay? And Marvin's trying to figure out, you know, what's the best thing for him. Bro, we went back to form shooting. We didn't start practice till like 45 to almost an hour later. And I'm looking around like, yo, Mike just blew up the whole practice. I'm like, there's only one person that could do that, and that's him. Like we jumped into practice, like we skipping drills, just jump into the next portion of practice and stuff. And I was like, yo, that was like the craziest thing I ever seen, because there's no way that anybody can do that to Coach Williams' practice, but Michael Jordan and probably Dean Smith. So yeah, that was pretty cool, man.
The first thing that popped in my head was, I wonder what Coach Williams thought about that. But you know what? Hey, guys, relax for about 45 minutes to an hour. Like, Mike is here. I'll sit back for a second, talk to the staff over here or something like that or whatever, and just figure out what we're gonna do. Let Mike do his thing or whatever. Like, bro, like,
crazy, bro. We looked at Coach like, is this okay? Can we? He's like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, yo, Mike crashed the whole practice. It was awesome, dog.
Bro, that's amazing, bro. Yeah, that is cool, like man. So amazing. And I mean, again, like, I can imagine how y'all felt about Mike, but bro, when I meet players and the same way that y'all felt about Mike in person, is I can't even imagine what it is. But it's equivalent to the same way that I feel when a new alumni player and me connect to come on the show.
Yeah.
Like it's equivalent. Like it really is. And I tell everybody, I don't care who it is, from the first player to the 15th player on the bench. If you put on that uniform and you sat on that sideline, I want to talk to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, period. Because I don't care if you're a walk-on. You could be the star player. You could be the walk-on. It doesn't matter to me. That's the same way that I feel like every time that I connect with the new alumni player. And I mean, I got a big one coming up. in about another week or so. I might have already told you who.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. I can't wait.
So, but you know, I'm gonna keep that on the low for a little bit. But you know,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. Like, just the fact that I actually have that man's personal phone number, and like Danny Green and yourself and Terrence Newby, everybody in this phone, like, never would have imagined, like, oh, let me just call up Jackie right quick. So Jackie got like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's dope, man. It's dope, man. Like, you know, that's the one thing about the guys, Carolina guys, man, very down to earth. Humble guys, and in testament to Coach Smith and Coach Williams and, you know, Coach Gutt, Coach Doherty, Coach Davis, because you recruit those type of young men, right?
Yeah.
That are humble and they're very talented and gifted. But you know, guys don't even know this. I mean, I look at guys that played after me. I'm in awe with them and the career that they had. You know what I mean? But those guys are so, you know, so humble. Danny Green's such a humble person, and the things that he's accomplished in his career. But you talk to Danny Green, you're like you're talking to a regular person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a big time, man.
Like I text Danny all the time, and it's still to this day. When I text him and stuff, I'm like, bro, I cannot believe I'm actually sitting up here texting Danny Green.
Yeah. Like,
what's going on here? Like, sometimes I might have to pinch myself. Like, is this actually real? Like, I'm sitting here texting Danny. We having a conversation, going back and forth with each other. Like, it's just that, like I said, that's the same way that I feel when it comes to you guys, bro. Like, I mean, and that's the reason why I told you, like, bro, I can't stop doing this.
No doubt. No.
I cannot stop doing this. Like, my goal is to, I don't even know. It's an unlimited number to me, but there's so many players that are on the list.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like,
it's taking you somewhere special, man. I really believe that, like, because I love your energy and I love your vibe, and like, you know, like, I'll speak for former players or us former players, but like anytime we can connect with people that just good people, good energy, we love to do it. Like, no, we don't have a problem doing that at all. You know what I mean? Because we know how much, I mean, you know, many people supported us and gave us love. So we want to reciprocate that.
And I truly appreciate it, bro. Like I do, man. Like I said, like words just can't even express it. Like, and I've reached out to so many other guys, like I have, and I ain't got no responses from a lot of them. I'm gonna be honest with you. But every once in a while, I want to pop up.
Yeah.
And here we are. So
for sure. And it was crazy how it happened, right? Crazy.
We was on live.
Yeah, I just saw Ray Terry name pop up on the live, and I'm sitting on my couch. And I see his name pop up on the live, and I'm like, what's Ray Terry talking about?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, like, you know, that you guys were going to be on there. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
And then, you know, kind of went from there. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, so shout out to Ray Terry.
Ray Terry. Big shout out to Ray Terry, man. Jackie, don't give him too much props. Like, don't give him too much props. Nah, that's my guy right there, man. Like, me and Ray Terry, like, we go back and forth all the time. Like, you would really think like we're brothers going back and forth with each other. Nothing, it doesn't get serious or anything, but it's like we debate all the time. And I always tell him, like, Ray, you might be 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", whatever the case may be, but don't let this little guy fool you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, watch it, homie. Watch it. Like,
we might be and I know exactly what you're talking about. We might be one of the most stubborn groups, or that 2004 or 5 team, in during that time too. Like, when I got there to when I graduated, we would do that. What you just talked about, we would debate in the locker room, bro, for hours.
Yes,
for hours. And I remember Marvin when he first got to the league. He's like, bro, it's cool. Like, I'm in the NBA. I can't be, you know, upset about that. But bro, I miss us sitting in the locker room. We would debate about everything for hours. And it was like, you can be all wrong. But if your voice got louder than everybody, that made, like, I won that. I won that debate. I don't know if I was right, but I won that debate.
Yeah.
And so you can
and Ray can be intimidating. He tried to be,
bro,
at least.
bro.
But
can you imagine that strong-minded, stubborn dudes sitting there in the locker room debating any and everything, and probably all of us wrong, but still we're gonna find a way. we're gonna find a way to manipulate and twist that argument so much. All of a sudden we arguing about something totally different.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, it was
Like
cool. Yeah,
it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but like just like a lot of people think that, and because I know what it is, but a lot of people, when they see you guys, they think like, oh man, like that's Ray Terry, that's David Noel, that's Jackie Manuel, that's Newbie, that's Phelps, and some of the other guys, Dexter Strickland, Baden Jackson. Sorry, Baden, my bad, bro. Like he changed his name, so but yeah, like those guys. And you guys, a lot of people think that y'all might be a little bit self-centered just because of the fact that you all put on that jersey.
Yeah.
And North Carolina is like an NBA team. Like that's North Carolina, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I tell people all the time, like, bro, you don't know them guys like I do. Like these jokers is like they joke, they laugh, they kid with you, they go back and forth, they gonna pick on you. I see both sides of everything. I know how Ray Terry can get, like for sure.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah, but I know how Dino can get. Like
for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, so I see both sides of it, and I tell people all the time, like, bro, these guys are like probably some of the most down to earth people you'll probably ever meet.
I mean, we're no different, right? We're literally no different. Like, but we have these God-given abilities and skills and talent to play this game of basketball, right? No different than the other gifts that people have. But that what you was just talking about Ray Terry and Dave Noel, like that's part of our superpower too.
Yeah.
But it's also, if we mismanage it, it could be a negative thing when you come dealing with people. You have to have a certain mindset when you step out on that court between those lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we've tried to do a really good job of like turning that switch off so we can interact with people from a humble space, like from our humble beginnings. And sometimes that it makes so much that is hard to do, but for the most part, especially when you get older, you realize like that phase of my life was great and was awesome, but I can't continue to carry myself in a way that I'm looking down on people like that. That's not what we're about. So, I'm all about the servitude and helping people and just showing love, man. Like, I think that's a big deal because, telling guys that I've coached and my own kids, you never know the impact you can make just by showing somebody some love.
Yeah.
And then they may not haven't gotten that all day, right? And you can change lives that way. So anytime I can do that, bro, I'm all in for it.
Well, listen, this ain't gonna be your last time on the show.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Absolutely not.
I already got some things already. The brain is already turning. So but we'll talk about that later, because I will tell you this, like, because I got one last question for you. We'll jump into it in a second, but I will tell you this, like, I tell Ray Terry and all of them all the time, and like I even told you, like, I'm what you might call the bridge. Like, I love to bridge the gap, right? So a while ago, probably a few months ago, I did an interview with a UNC alumni player that a lot of the fans are not fond of.
Okay.
I mean, I can mention his name. It's out there already, but I did an interview with PJ Hairston.
Okay. Yeah.
And, you know, my thing is, because of the fact that I'm just trying to be positive, I'm trying to bridge the gap, you know, things like that. I'm not condoning what as far as the things that he did.
Yeah.
However, at the same time, he hasn't had a voice to be able to express himself to fans or to, you know, alumni or staff or whatever the case may be. So when he reached out to me, I was like, PJ, this is home for alumni players. Like 94 feet of UNC is home for any UNC alumni player. If they want to come, tell their stories, whatever the case may be, they're always welcomed here. And I told him that, and, you know, we was able to do the episode. And, you know, I don't know what type of traction that it may have gotten or what bridges it may have, you know, what gaps it may have closed in on as far as with him and the relationships with others, if they've seen it or not. But the fact that I was able to put it together because of that, because I do believe that people should be treated fair.
Yeah.
However, I mean, yes, they may have made some mistakes, but at the same time, they're still human beings. And let's hear the actual stories as to why the situations might have happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was one of the biggest things to me. And, you know, Ray and them, they always tell me, like, Zell, you super good peoples, like, you know, whatever, you do what you got to do. Like, you are right now between me and Hoots. And I ain't in no competition with Hoots, because I mean, Hoots is Hoots. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm like that second glue piece that's connecting, trying to keep everybody together and stay in touch with each other and stuff like that. Which, you know, because I got a Instagram group chat or whatever with all of the players that I've interviewed, all of, and I got to add you to that. I'll make sure that I do that. But everybody's in it that I've talked to. A couple of them I haven't talked to yet. They haven't been on the show yet, but I do talk to them through DMs or on the phone, whatever the case may be. We just haven't been able to set our shows up, you know, or whatever. So, but yeah, I just had to put that out there. Like, you know, just being a good person, bro. Just being a good.
I'm glad you did that, man. Cause like, we don't talk about this enough, but like, sometimes people go through life, man. And life be life. And that young man that I had the privilege of coaching when he first got to Carolina, I was, what was it, 2011, 12. I was just joining the staff. He was a freshman. And he was going through life then, right? And so, you know, he's still going through his process, his journey. He's still going through it, along with a lot of other guys that have played in this program, who's done tremendous things for this program, and who've created, and this program's created opportunities for. But I try not to judge any of my brothers for life. You know what I mean? Because we're no different than them. Like the mistakes that he's making, like we all make the same mistakes. Sure, I've made a ton of mistakes. You know, mine's just not on social media. You know, mine's not on a platform where people get to, you know, judge it and everything. So I try not to look down on anybody who's going through their deal. You know what I mean? I try to pray for them, man, and like that, whatever it is, that they can find their way. I mean, because there's good qualities in us all, right? And there's
absolutely
the God-given abilities and talents that PJ showed, my brother Rashad that he showed on the court, that and everybody, we can go on, that they still have those gifts and talents that can impact so many people, even just a testimony, you know what I mean, that a young person is traveling the same journey that we all can make a positive impact of, hey, what to do, what not to do. So I try not to judge them, and if I do, I try to ask for forgiveness for doing that, because we all on an imperfect journey, right?
Absolutely.
And learning and maturing and growing as people every single day. So
yeah. So I mean, prayers out to him, man. For sure. Man. And everybody and anybody else.
And anybody else, man. Like, and hopefully they get a chance to see this and hear that there are people praying for them, and still got love for them. So that ain't gonna ever change.
And if anybody, in order for anybody to hear this or whatever, subscribe to the channel.
For sure.
I had to throw that out there, Jack. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to the channel. You can catch all the interviews. Like, I got interviews for days. If you taking a journey, a road trip, whatever the case may be, like, you could just put it on and it let episode after episode play. So that's neither here nor there. So my last question for you real quick, because we did discuss this or whatever, like earlier today or whatever, but just briefly, how do you feel about like the transfer portal and the NIL?
I actually think both were long overdue, honestly. When you're in this business and you're recruiting kids and you understand how many decisions that are being made with like not enough information, or emotional decisions are being made. I mean, I just told you I made a decision to come to Carolina and I didn't even take a visit. You know what I'm saying? So
that's still crazy to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So like, I made that decision. People are still making decisions like that. You know what I mean? Because we typically make emotional decisions when we don't have enough information. And how am I supposed to get that information if I don't even know what information to look for? You know what I mean? Or I'm getting guidance from somebody and I'm hoping that they're guiding me in the right direction, for my benefit. So that's the thing that I love about the portal, is like, you can make decisions and it not be the right decision, and you can fix those things. And you know what? Because we're so imperfect, we may make the wrong decisions multiple times. Then you can fix it. And you hope that in one of these decisions that you make, that you can have a good experience that will have a positive impact on you going forward, right? Because I know some kids who haven't made that decision correctly, and they've had a negative college experience, and now they can't get that back. And so now everything going forward is a negative perspective.
Right.
So that's the thing I like about the portal, and NIL, long overdue. You know what I mean? Like, if you did it right the first time, it wouldn't be here.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? You did it right the first time, it wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? You would have some structure and you could build on it, and it will be in a place where it's reasonable. In the sense of like people's values and worth. But you didn't. So it's where it's at. And now the great thing about life is the pendulum, right? It swings one direction and eventually it comes back. And because you've been, from an NCAA standpoint, you've been doing this, the financial piece of players getting paid in their name, image, and likeness that was going on for so long that you can't just get it back in a few years.
Right.
Got to make up for some of that.
Yeah.
So I do like the fact that these kids get to benefit off that, and then the direction that is moving into the revenue sharing, and now you get to more of your value and what you're worth, and all that piece, the performance piece. But like anything else, eventually it's going to need some structure. Eventually we're going to need some contracts. Eventually we're going to need that, and eventually we're going to need to get to a point where, just like the any other professional sport, the NBA specifically, what is your worth?
Right.
And how are you performing? How are you producing? And we're going to pay you based off that.
Right.
And you continue to perform, you continue to get paid more and more. That's what it is, right? That's how the game is.
Yeah.
And what that'll do is, for us, when you and I talked about this earlier, when I was playing, we worked hard because we were trying to get to that level of that type of money, right?
Yeah.
Now the money is here, but how do you still create a culture, an environment of guys working hard and improving and getting better to help everybody? Is you gotta put some sort of structure in place where that's the case.
Yeah. It's got to be regulated.
It's got to be, for me, the more I perform and produce, guess what? The more I get paid. I'm with that all day. All right. So
You
now
got to work for you got to work for your money, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
you
if you was
gotta
at a
work for your
job,
money.
you would be working for it, right?
Absolutely. So I thought about this, and I'm like, okay, what separates LeBron and Luka from some of the other guys in the Lakers from a financial standpoint? It's like how they're producing, right? Well, if you give all of us money on a college level, and I feel like you ain't no better than me, and you feel like I ain't no better than you, and we all on the same page, it's going to be a lot of conflict in that, because there's no separation between who is and who isn't. But when you had Armando on there with RJ, it was clear separation for everybody else, that like those were the talented guys based off their production. Okay. So if you want to get in that conversation, guess what? Get in the gym. Let's get better. You know what I mean? Whenever you get the opportunity, nobody knows when that's going to come. Take advantage of it. Put yourself in that conversation. Now here comes all the other rewards from it, individual and team rewards. So I think once we get the structure, and that's coming, once the structure comes, man, it's going to be great for everybody. And hopefully it continues to stay balanced in a good place.
Yeah. Last question: who wins the championship this year?
Oh man,
we have not.
I wish I got this question during the Final Four. The Final Four, I could have gave you a better answer. That's a good question, man. I don't know, to be honest with you, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you have to create momentum every round. You have to recreate momentum every round. So, like, if you think about NC State last year, they had this momentum, and then they left and came back to the Final Four, and that joint was gone.
Yeah.
Like, gone. You're like, yo, who is this team? Yeah, who is this?
Right. Shouldn't even be here.
What you like, yo, who is this team, and how did they get to this point?
Right.
So you gotta create momentum, but it's a lot of good teams in there for real. I don't know. I mean, I'll say this. One, Auburn has the pieces to do it.
Not consistent enough though, Jackie.
And I'm just saying from just top to bottom, they have the pieces.
I got you.
Pieces to do it. Like you have every piece to. You need multiple guys making plays at any given point of the game, right?
Yes.
And they have the pieces. Some people only have starting fives. Some people go 6 deep, but they have the pieces.
True. That's true.
Duke has the pieces. They have the pieces to do it because you got people who can score, you got people who can make plays, you got size, you got versatility, they have the pieces. The teams that have that, when they get into those close games and it becomes those moments where the Raymond Felton's got to step up, the Rashad McCants got to step up, the Sean Mays, the Marvin Williams, the Jawar Williams, like those guys got to step. You need those pieces.
Yeah.
And you don't know which one is going to do it. But, Melvin Scott making free throws, like all those guys helped us get to that point where we were able to win the national championship because they made big time plays.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you ain't got that, bro, good luck.
I'm with you.
Or if you only got 2 of those, good luck. All right.
You still in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck. Like, you need at least 5 guys on that court that can score that basketball that can give you a chance.
Yeah, that's a fact. I got Florida winning it all.
They have it too. Yeah, they have it too. I forgot about it.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I agree with you that Duke got the pieces, but I just it's hard to even say something like that about them winning it all.
For sure.
Every round, I'm looking for them to lose. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh man, that's the only thing I do not want to happen. Like anything else, I don't care who wins it. It could be any of the other 15 teams. I don't care, but not that one.
I agree. And I look at Houston. I like Houston getting to the I like Houston getting to the Final Four. But if you look at Houston's past tournament appearances, they always struggle at a certain point where they need somebody to make shots.
Yeah.
One injury takes them out of the mix, and it's like, God dang, Houston's right there. And so I think you need
defensively, they are crazy.
Oh, they're crazy.
But and on that offensive end, that's where they struggle to me.
Yeah.
I think they do have a good team, but that's a tough bracket for them. That's a really tough bracket where they at right now. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Well, they'll win the next one for sure. I mean, they'll beat Purdue, and then, but after that, you either gonna face Kentucky or Tennessee. I think Tennessee is gonna get that done this time.
You have when you're looking at the SEC though, you have so much athleticism.
Yeah.
And length on that as far as wingspan and stuff on that court, that's been one of the biggest difference. You're facing one of those teams. Yeah. You're facing one of those SEC teams, right? To get to that point. And so you just named Kentucky, Tennessee, Auburn, Florida,
Arkansas is still in there.
It's really set up to be one of those teams winning the national championship.
Yeah, because it's 7. It's 7 left out of 16.
Yeah, it's 7 of them. It's set up. Now, obviously, they got to do their part, but it's set up for one of them to win a national championship because somebody got to go through that.
Somebody got to.
Yeah.
You can't there's no way you should get 14 teams in the NCAA tournament and not one of them win the chip.
14 teams, man. 14 teams.
Never happened before. That's crazy.
I hope it never happened again because that's crazy.
I do too.
Because that's crazy.
I'm with you on that one.
Come on, man. 14 teams.
I am with you on that one, man. Lord have mercy. Jeez.
You got 7 teams in the Sweet 16. Come on, man.
That's crazy. Almost half.
Almost
half of the Sweet 16 is SEC teams.
If you don't get 4 teams in, if you don't get 3 teams in, bro, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Hey, you don't get 2 is not enough. You don't get 3 teams in the Final Four. What are we talking about?
Should get 4, but I mean,
Right.
yeah. And I don't even know if Texas Tech is in the SEC. Like, I keep forgetting if they're in there or if they're in the Big 12. I think they're in the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, you got. I mean, I love the. I mean, the talent and athleticism, man. That's a game changer because there's so much versatility out there. Like,
Yeah.
You better have some people that can make some tough shots.
And I forgot all about Alabama.
What are we talking about? What are you talking about, Essie? This is
I forgot all about Alabama, but they in the bracket with Duke.
What?
So, I mean, the road is getting harder. Like, I talk to Duke fans, the first thing they saying is, oh, well, we already smacked Arizona. Well, guess what? That was a different Arizona team than what it is now.
Yeah.
And then if you get past Arizona, now you got to either deal with BYU or Alabama, which a better game is against Alabama for sure. If both of y'all move forward. So
I say this: whoever gets there earned it. Whoever gets those 4 spots earned it.
Did they really?
Whoever gets to those 4 spots.
I don't know about that one, Jackie, because I can't say Duke earned it.
If I'm saying based off whoever they have to play against. If they have to play against.
Okay.
Because
I was about to say, like, if you want to base it
on, not based off what they did, but I'm saying if whoever you have to beat to get to those 4, because it ain't gonna be nobody easy.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair
it ain't
enough.
who's playing going into the Sweet 16. Who's playing easy? I don't even know if there's any mid majors in there.
No,
because somebody usually have a mid major in the Sweet 16, and then they get to the Elite 8.
Yeah, nah. There's no mid majors. Everybody is either big. It's either ACC, SEC, Big 10, or Big 12.
Big 12, right? So you got to play against somebody that is a like opponent to get to the next round.
Yeah,
for the most part, right?
Yeah,
or your same conference opponent.
Yeah. The Big 10, they got 3. No, they got 4. I forgot about they got Michigan State, Purdue, and Maryland.
Yeah. So like that ain't okay. Nobody's coming into this next round like, okay, I got a cakewalk. Okay.
Yeah.
I got St. Peter's.
That's true.
That's
FDU. True. No St. Peter's or
FDU,
Loyola, Chicago.
And nobody's walking to the Elite 8. You gotta go take that from somebody, and it ain't gonna be easy.
Yeah. We'll see.
So
it's gonna be interesting.
You can't even put nobody in there, but like, oh yeah, they're gonna be in the championship game. I don't know, they may not make it.
That's true. That's true. That is true. I mean, we'll see. It's gonna be it's getting very interesting now. Even though we're not in it, it is still interesting because of the teams that are in it. And now it's who do you really want to see? Like in the Final Four, who's going to win what game, things like that. People are still praying that Duke loses. I'm one of them. I'm not going to lie.
It can happen for sure.
It can happen. Hey, they got Caleb Love coming up.
Hey, it can happen for sure. Ain't no promising to nothing. I don't care if you ain't playing that day. Good luck. I don't care who you are. It can happen. Who do you see in the Final Four?
In the Final Four, I got Florida. Who's up at the top, right? At that top part of the bracket? That's Michigan State versus Ole Miss and Auburn versus Michigan. Yeah. I got Auburn coming out of that. Florida coming out of theirs, which those two will play each other, which sucks because both of them are on the same side with each other before either one of them's got to lose in order if they have to play Duke. Like, I hate that. Bottom part, that bottom right side, I got Tennessee. And then up there with Duke, I got Bama.
Okay. What's that? The SEC?
All SEC.
All SEC. They better. Hey, they better.
I mean, they talk about how great the conference is, right? Like, let's see then. Put them
all
in there then. Like,
I mean, all SEC, Final Four.
Yeah, like put them all in there. Like, let's see them all. They done already played each other. That's gonna bring in numbers. Like, it's always about money. So that's gonna bring in numbers because now it's like, oh, y'all done beat up on each other all season, and now all four of y'all are just like, now y'all gonna get into the gauntlet and really knock some heads off. Like,
we're gonna see. We're the best SEC team.
Exactly. So and if you want to go championship, I got Florida. I got Florida winning it all, and I say Florida versus Florida. Give me Florida and Tennessee, even though I don't believe in Rick Barnes in the tournament or Bruce Pearl. To be honest with you, so Florida's just really good, bro. They're really good, really good. So
I'm interested to see because you know how Michigan State they get you all excited and then all of a sudden you never know. Izzo can be in the Final Four. Or Izzo can be done in the Sweet 16. Like
they got a tough one. They got a tough one because they got Ole Miss.
Yeah,
like I got them winning it, but they got a tough one, and I just don't think that they can beat Auburn at all. They're not big enough.
I do feel like it's just like tough, gritty basketball teams going forward. Like you're gonna have to battle, whether it's a Big Ten team or SEC team. Like you're gonna have to battle in these games. Physicality, it's gonna be physical.
For sure.
I think that's going to be – I feel like that's going to be the deciding factor, how they officiate the next round of games because they let a lot of stuff go last round.
Yeah. And keep in mind, is it four or five out of the Sweet 16 teams or whatever? Carolina played them during the regular season, but we didn't deserve to be there. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Auburn, Michigan State, Ole Miss, Bama, Duke. That's 5. That's it. That's it. Because Florida got Maryland. Yeah, Florida got Maryland. So yeah. So 5 out of the Sweet 16 teams or whatever Carolina played throughout the season.
The interesting thing for me is the rewarding of losing conference records in the SEC. And you're saying Carolina, your conference not this, your conference not that, bro. You got to win games.
Yeah,
you got to go in there and win games.
Yeah,
like you have to go over there. Unless we're playing a bunch of high school players or something like that, or high school teams, like you got to go in there and win games, and you're doing it in different parts of the season in different variables, right?
Yep.
People don't take it to account, and it's easy not to when you're not in it. Kids are in school, they're injured. They're not feeling well. Life is going on. Like you got to go into. They might not be, cohesive right now, but all of a sudden it changes. Like you still got to go into, other people's buildings and win games.
That's a fact.
You got to win games. Like when did this not become about winning games and then become about, well, that conference is harder and because they lost such and such game, that means that conference. Like, come on, bro, it's about winning games.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody else said it or whatever.
It's about winning games, like,
because people think I'm crazy, Jackie, when I say that I remember when all you had to do was have 20 plus wins to get into the tournament.
Absolutely. You couldn't have no losing conference record.
Yeah. Like I don't understand it. Like I tell people that all the time, like, bro, back in the days, all you had to do was have 20 wins and you was in the tournament, period. Like now it's, oh, you got to have this many quad wins and this and your Ken Palm and all of that. Like, what are we doing?
But you got 6 conference wins. You got 6 conference wins, and you're the 14th team in, and the next team had 3 conference wins. I mean, there were 3. They didn't make it because they were 3 wins away. They were 3 wins away from potentially being in. If you're letting a team with 6 conference wins, like when it like you're a good team, you're a good team. Like that's it. At the end of the day, you're a good team. That's like us. That's like us getting the ACC, right? When the ACC was really, really, really popping like that, and say, oh, the ACC really popping, and because it's really popping, y'all got 6 wins, so y'all should get in because it's popping. Right. It's like, no, they expect you to be a certain level of, you see what I'm saying? When did the bar, when did we lower the bar? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Nobody looked at the ACC when it was 10 teams talking about, oh, because it's 10 really good teams or whatever it was. Oh, and y'all quad ones that, oh, y'all get the benefit.
Right.
6 wins. No. There's like, no, bro, you better finish you have a winning record, a winning overall record, a winning conference record. And then we can talk about the rest of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Figure it out, NCAA. Figure it out. I say it all the time. Figure it out. Y'all so far behind the 8 ball. Figure it out. Like the people are tired, bro. The people are tired. The fans are tired of figure it out. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about it, bro. I could go on and on about the NCAA, man, all day long. But no need to even get into any of that or whatever. So listen, Jackie, I appreciate you, my guy. Like for sure. This was in a long time in the making for me, and we hadn't even spoke yet. I was already saying, like, man, I got to get Jackie on the show. Got to get Jackie on the show. And you know what? You should get on Ray Terry or whatever, because I always told Ray, I was like, Ray, I know you talk to some of these guys. Like, stop playing, bro. Like, we could have been done this. Been done this. But listen, everything happens when it's supposed to happen. So
absolutely.
We didn't rush into it or anything like that. So, but yeah, bro, I truly appreciate you, man. Like, let everybody know where they can find you at or what you got, whatever you got going on.
Man, I'm on Twitter, Instagram.
Oh, you got to send me your Twitter handle, bro.
To be honest with you, I don't be on the Twitter like that.
You more on the gram than you are on Twitter.
I'm more on the gram, man. I'm more on the gram. Just hit me up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the name on Instagram?
JK Manuel on Instagram. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody, and that's gonna be in the description down low. So y'all will be able to just click on it or whatever, and it'll take you straight to his page. Make sure y'all get over there, of course. Follow the legend, y'all. Like, follow the legend. This man's a legend for sure. Like, he got a chip. He's got a ring. He's got a ring. Like, one of these days, maybe he'll let me put it on. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe one day, whenever we link up or something in Chapel Hill or something like that, and he decides to come home for a little bit or whatever. Got to get him. Hopefully, I'm trying to get him back on the staff too, everybody. But that's another topic. That's another topic. But nah, man. I like listen. Thank you, bro. Like I said, I'm truly humble and grateful for this opportunity to be able to to sit here, chop it up with you or whatever, and get your perspective on a lot of different things and, you know, whatever. And like I tell everybody, bro, you are always, it's an open invitation. You're always welcomed back. Always. Don't matter when it is. All you got to do is call me up, Zell. I listen, can we set up a show? Like, let's get such and such, and me and all of that on there. Cause I want to talk to the fellas, see what they think about whatever. Like, don't hesitate, bro. All you got to do, you got the number, just hit me up. Or of course, I'm gonna hit you up because I got some things in mind. Because I gotta add you to the list of the big idea that I got that I do with at least 4 players. Everybody already knows what it is. The Connect 4 episode. This will be part 2 though. Like, you gotta, when you get a chance, make sure you go check out that episode, Jackie.
Okay.
I promise you, it's me, Dino, Mike Cope, Quentin Thomas, and Ray Terry.
Oh, my boys.
Yeah. So we did a crazy Connect 4 episode, bro. Like it was one of my favorite shows out of all of them. Like, it is one of my favorite shows, but you definitely got to check that out. But Connect 4 Part 2 is coming up, and got to get 4 new players on here. So you on the list. I think I got to get one more interview, and it would be good to go. So and we'll be able to put things in motion or whatever. But yeah, man, I truly appreciate you, bro. Truly appreciate you.
Hey, let me make a quick correction because I gave out the wrong little handle on my Instagram. Jackie Manuel 5 Instagram. So hit me up.
I thought that's what it was.
I'm getting my Instagram, my Twitter, all that. All that mixed up.
I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember JK Manuel. I had to think about it for a second, and then I was like, you got like the whole name up there, bro. I thought it was. No.
I had a Twitter, and then I did away with that and had to create a new one. I had another Instagram account, did away with that and had to create a new one. So like, I'm all over the place, but that's what happens. You turn 42, you start getting all over the place. Hey, you start getting all over the place,
bro. Hey, look, we on the 4th floor. Don't feel bad, bro. Don't feel bad at all. Don't feel bad at all, guys. I'm up there with you. I am right up there with you. I'm a little bit more elevated than you, but I'm up there with you, bro.
So yeah, everybody forgive me for that. You know, I'm 42. It don't hit like 22. Well, I tell you that.
So, but yeah, man, I appreciate you. Everybody, that's Jackie Manuel. Once again, I appreciate you, Jackie, man. I definitely appreciate you, bro.
Thanks
for sure. Listen, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Listen, everybody, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Stay locked in because we got some more coming up. And until the next time, everybody hold it down. Enjoy the portal. Like, a lot of things.